Welcome to the fish room, everyone. Today is going to be another video on the 43 tank series. So today is tank number 11. In tank number 11, I have a group of red delta guppies. Little background story. I had 6 guppies left of this strain, and I had 1 male left, and I had 2 or 3 babies. I wasn't sure the sex of them. They turned out all to be female, and I had 2 young adult females. So I almost lost this strain completely, but I'm going to show you the fish in there. They did thrive and come back. So they bred in this 40-gallon aquarium. I had them in a 10-gallon, or I think maybe a 20-gallon. Moved them to the 40, gave them a lot of acrylic yard for their babies to hide in, and I just slowly let them kind of bounce back. The females got mature, the male got them pregnant, they had lots of babies. And now I probably have close to 100 to 200 guppies in this tank, and I have pulled guppies from this tank and sold them already. So that probably happened about 4 months ago. But let's go ahead, let's look at them. I'm going to show you the tank number 11, and we're also going to make some changes. So let's go ahead and look at that. So to talk a little bit more about this tank, the main goal when I put them in here, I was losing the red deltas. They were getting a fungal infection. I did treat them. They bounced back slowly but surely, and they started breeding. But whenever I did that, I really just wanted to get those initial fish healthy, and I wanted them to reproduce to get more males and females that I could continue the strain. Now that I've done so, I need to start calling from this tank. I have not done that yet, so I've sold some nice red deltas from here to customers and stores. But I still have some common defects. I have some crooked backs. I have some weaker guppies in here, and I'm going to do that all today for us. So tank number 11, I wanted to show you guys this 40-gallon tank, which starts the first tank of the rack. So this is my custom 2x4 rack. I have 40 gallons, 10s, 20s, but this is the first of them. And it's not complete. You're constantly changing things in the fish room. Not changing just to change, but you're trying to improve. And if we look closely, I'm not gonna hide anything from you. Let's try to spot some fish that I kind of don't want to breed in here. So here's a male. You can see its tail is quite tethered up. It doesn't have that squared off tail. This guy here has a crooked back. There's a lot of flaws in this tank, but you can't be, beggars can't be choosers. I had 6 fish left. I didn't want to lose the reds completely. So there is a little bit different. I mean, I have pulled fish from this tank that are very nice. So I have 3 different tanks of trios with my nicest males. More fish like this guy here. They have that nice full red, squared off tail. I picked females with the most red. So ones that had red in their back and top fin, and hopefully coming through their spine, and the least amount of spotting possible. But you can see there's a lot of males in here that are not ideal. I mean, back there, I have a guy with a weak back. I have some fancy guppies showing up with like different patterns to them. And these were not here when I pulled my old pairs. So I have tanks of my red deltas breeding, and I'll show those in a later video. They have fried. The males and females look nice. There were none of these calls of bad males. They were too young to be breeding at the time. So any in here that are breeding, I'm just gonna separate them, males and females. The nice ones, like that's still a nice fish right there, that male. He still will grow a little bit bigger. That's a nice fish I can definitely sell as an assorted guppy. Things like that can go to the pet store. But I don't want any females in here that he's been breeding with to continue this strain. So updating this tank, I'm going to go through, catch all of the nicest males and females, split them into 2 sale tanks, and they're going to stay there till my next big order. And then any of the babies are going to probably stay here, grow out, and I'm going to have to make some calls of any bad males and females. It's probably about a 30%. I don't want to give a percentage, but I know there's probably 20 fish in here that I'm not comfortable breeding or selling. so they will have to be called from the tank, and this tank can continue. But that's kind of our responsibility as breeders. That's part of the hobby and part of the business. I'm also breeding some plecos in there, but whenever you have fish that aren't strong and they aren't suitable, you have to remove them from the tank, whether you feed them to a larger fish or sell them to someone or give them away to someone who just wants them. You can do whatever you'd like, but since these fish are in a controlled environment, they're not in a pond with predators that the weakest ones will get picked off and the strong will continue and they will breed. That's all in our hands. We're taking care of these fish. Their health and their continuation is 100% in our hands. So that's something we have to do. There's certain fish, it's just, I don't want to have one bad fish like this female turn into 300 fish that are all unsuitable. So kind of take care of one to save 100 kind of thing. You have to look at the bigger picture in the tank. But today I'm going to go through, I'm probably going to do a water change on my tanks that they're going to go to. I'll show you that. Over here, I sold my discus and I have a 29-gallon tank. This has some babies in here and a female guppy. I think I'm going to put all females in here. Remove the fry because some of these guys are going to turn out to be males. I don't want them breeding with the females. So this is going to turn into a female guppy sail tank. Any of the assorted ones can go down here into the 55 sail tank. And then I'll make some calls. And this tank, I'm not sure what I'll do with it next. So it might turn into a male guppy sail tank. I might breed a different strain of guppies in here. But whenever you're catching them out, you're most likely going to get some babies left over. So it's very possible that I'll catch all the adults, leave the fry, wait about a month till all the babies get to a certain size where I know they're not hiding in acrylic yarn or around the sponge filter where I can miss them. And then I'll grow those guys up, I'll separate them again, males and females, and then I can do something new with this tank. So that's what's going on in tank number 11. I believe I'm going to do that right now, and I'll show you guys the end result. I rarely talk about calling fish because it's kind of part of the hobby where people get a lot of criticism from a very small percentage of people. It's kind of like anything where the 5% everybody hears, but the other 95% of everybody else, their opinions and their thoughts are kind of held silent. But it's part of it. I'm sharing what's going on with tank 11. I don't want to end on a negative note because I'm super excited about this tank. Like I said it like 4 times. I had 6 fish left. I had a male that was really nice, but he was kind of sick, and I had a few females. So I almost lost that strain completely. So I brought them back to health and I bred them, and now they're in that tank and all of their offspring are in there, and there's many more guppies to come. So this is a very positive thing. And also, these fish are much stronger. So I treated them once, but now I'll call some of the bad ones out without treating them with any medicine or anything like that, because the rest of them don't need it. And that's going to further increase my strains of being stronger fish. I do not want a fish that I can run meds through every month and make them perfect little fish in a perfectly clean tank, because anytime you sell those fish, they're not going to do well for other people. Whenever you have one tank at home and you want to keep your fish really healthy, you don't want to lose a single fish, you don't want anything to die. I don't want anything to die either. It's just kind of part of, I'm not breeding and keeping these fish for myself, which I do. It's partially for me, but it's for everybody else. I want to be able to sell these fish. I want other people to enjoy these fish. I do that with my rams from the start. I've shown my germ blue rams in many videos, and I've been breeding for a long time these fish, and they're all my strain now. It's line bred. I haven't bought other rams and crossed them into my strain. I've done different generations. I've went from different things. I've researched a lot about line breeding and the proper way to do it, and I keep them in a certain water parameters where they're not in 0 nitrates. The nitrates will build up. The tanks can get crowded at times. They can get a little cloudy. They may have overfeeding and a lot of fish waste in the water, but they build up an immune system and they get stronger from that, and then the next generation becomes even stronger. So that's always another thing that I'm doing. I'm trying to breed for color, I'm breeding for health. I want to make my fish better over time for me and for everybody else. So that's kind of where I'm going to leave this on. Tank number 11 update. I might throw another video at the end of this of what this tank looks like after I'm all done. But if not, guys, do me a favor, go down there, like the video, shoot me a comment. If you're not already subscribed, please subscribe. I really appreciate it. And tank number 12 is coming up. Check out some old videos. I will see you guys soon.